So on a closing note, you need to be aware where Google is going with this, right? So the situation right now is that that SEO, that Google is tracking user behavior, right? And that's a key, that's really a key, a component of the algorithm, and they're depending more and more on that. So you need to emulate. You need to see basically where every niche that you get into, you need to understand the top ranking sites in that niche. That's the only way to do SEO right now, because what works in one niche, the variables and the factors are not going to work in another niche, and even the Google engineers don't know to what extent they differ, right? So the algorithm is building its own threshold values. So for example, say there are like 250 different factors, right? Each of those factors, let's suppose they're like a dial, like a knob, and each of those can be turned up or turned down. Now, who's in control of those variables? Who decides how much to turn it up and how much to turn it down? The algorithm is doing that, right? The algorithm is deciding, the AI is deciding that. And who's training that AI? Users, right? User interaction with pages, user behavior. So in the end, every niche has different settings for the dial for each of the variables, and these settings are being tweaked and constantly changed based on the user behavior in that niche, right? So we are basically different people who have different personalities or who have different interests are visiting different sets of sites, and they're training the AI within that domain. It's important to grasp this concept, because we humans are basically, so we're forming these groups, and we're forming these, if I want to find the right word, the tribes, as Seth Godin would say, right? So we're a tribal community, we're tribes basically, and we like certain things, and we're passionate about certain things. So Google tracks the users within the tribes, within these different tribes, and adjusts its ranking algorithm based on tribal behavior, and which is different. Like one tribe would behave differently from another tribe, right? And things like that would pass different signals. So that's really important that you understand that. And of course, Google is using links and social signals to find these trusted pages to rank initially. So there's something called the Google Dance. When you put out a new page, I didn't talk about Google Dance before, but it is an important concept that you should understand at this point. So when Google finds when you put out a new page, Google doesn't trust that page immediately, right? It'll sort of bounce it up and down, and that's called the Google Dance. It'll push it up, it'll rank it at number 5 or number 3, depending how much it trusts your site, how much Panda trusts your site, the entity database. So it'll bounce your site up, and then people will click on it when they do a search, because it ranks at X spot. They visit your site, and then it sees how users are behaving and interacting with that page as compared to the other pages on that SERP result for that keyword. And if you're outdoing them, and if your page is performing better, it has better user signals, and users are liking it more and things like that, and you're passing down better signals than your competitors, then Google solidifies your rankings, and you start getting out of the Google Dance, that page, and then your rankings stick and just climb up higher and higher. So that's an important concept. And Google is now a mobile first index. They've said it that more than 50% of the users are coming and using Google from mobile devices. So we're going to be a mobile first index. That's what we're doing. So when you do SEO, you need to understand that Google's the database, the way a mobile device, the way the Google bot renders your page for a mobile device is more important than desktop. So when you're creating a website or optimizing a site, always look at it from a mobile device also. I know you're making things on a desktop, but don't forget to check it out from a mobile device. Make sure that the navigation links, and if you have the burger icon it works properly, clicks is easily recognizable, people can click it opens up properly, and then people can click around and navigate your site properly on a mobile device as well. The difference is not felt. In fact, mobile should have a better navigation than your desktop. So that's important. And then remember that user tracking this is just an interim stage, what you're going through, right? It's an initial stage also. It's just like once Google trains its AI and perfects it, then it'll be able to tell a high quality content page from a poor quality content page, like quickly and without, without any trouble. It's just Google is just trying to get to that stage, so they don't really need to even look at other factors. They don't need to look at backlinks. They don't need to look at social shares. They don't need to look at some of the other factors. Maybe they would use it. They would use backlinks, but not as predominantly as they are right now, even social shares. So they could just like come to a page and automatically understand the content and rank it and give the result within the SERP. That's what the ultimate holy grail is, and you see that happening a lot with search snippets. They want to serve the user with the answer within the SERP, so the user doesn't have to actually go and click to the site and visit the site to get more data. They want to give the answer right there and then. That's the holy grail. That's what they're going for. Of course, you as a site owner will lose a lot of traffic, but I'm sure the whole they will find a way out of it, and the whole ecosystem is the right word I'm looking for. The way the ecosystem works, and because nature will find a way, right? Evolution will happen. So I think it'll just like find a way, and there will be a balance between the website owners like having. They won't like totally oppose what Google is trying to do when it's trying to give the answer within Google, so people don't visit your site, but just like get their answer, right? So the ecosystem will work out. As far as I can see, what will happen is that if people are going to get their answer directly from Google, and Google is getting all this data from the different websites, and people don't visit the website anymore, then people are going to get, right, the website owners, people are going to get upset, right, with Google. But I'm sure Google will find a way, and the ecosystem will balance out in some way, and there will be some factors that come in. I don't know what the answer is, but I'm pretty sure that there will be some solution to this, to what Google is trying to do, and they'll come up with something or the other. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this series, and I look forward to seeing you in the other videos. Bye now.